The new mansion at 6 Carriage Trail in the Greystone-on-Hudson luxury development on 100 acres off South Broadway in Tarrytown was the location for the March 27th Home Decor and Design event presented by Westfair Communications, publisher of the Westchester County Business Journal, Fairfield County Business Journal, and WAG Magazine. Andy Todd is president of the Greystone Mansion Group.
This was the former castle of Josiah Macy, who was John D. Rockefeller's partner in Standard Oil. And along South Broadway, there were 60 castles owned by the Rockefellers and the Goulds and the Morgans and the Lehmans and all these titans of business. And we thought, wow, we've sold 3 houses and we have 3 under contract and have two more built. This is one of them. Houses start at $3.5 million and go up to whatever you can imagine. This home right here is $13 million.
WAG Magazine's editor-in-chief, Georgette Gouveia, spoke about a 2,000-year-old Roman tombstone which had been discovered in rubble on the site.
Their detective work led them to the Metropolitan Museum of Art, which authenticated the find as the funerary pillar of Tiberius Claudius Saturninus. He was a former slave, and he collected taxes for the Emperor Claudius in Greece. And today, it's called a funerary cepus, and today it is actually located in the Leon Levy and Shelby White Court in the Greek and Roman galleries of the Metropolitan Museum of Art. So Josiah Macy had, of course, a widow, the former Carolyn Louisa Everett. She purchased this piece in an auction at Rome's Villa Borghese. She didn't have Regal Fine Arts to help her, but she was there, and she purchased the piece. And in time, it came to this estate. Now, in the 1970s, I believe, the estate was destroyed, so this was all plowed under, unfortunately.
The guests heard design tips from Amy Hirsch, whose design firm is based in Greenwich.
If you don't communicate whether it is what you like or what you don't like, it's really hard for us to be your vehicle and to give you what you're looking for. What I like to say about our interiors is that they're very different than they're all very different. No 2 projects are ever alike, and I think that is something that is a game changer for us, because no 2 projects should ever be the same. My job is to curate something that is unique and different for the client. Everything comes full circle. So for me, when we hear the word trend, it's more or less, what is the client looking for? Like, this was a garage. The gentleman he's an avid landscaper. So for Father's Day, we transformed this space into kind of his work haven. So he's very functional, and I think that is something that's also really important to realize. Everything can look as beautiful as it can be, but if it doesn't have a function, the aesthetic means nothing, right? So it's really important that you listen to what they need and you formulate that. So we do tons of elevations, tons of floor plans and spatial planning in order to achieve the space that they're looking for.
Patricia Espinoza is co-owner of the Local Vault, an online marketplace for pre-owned home decor.
We carry a lot of different brands, designer brands, some of which you might recognize, some that are available only to the trade. So we provide access to them that otherwise you could only get, by using a designer like Amy. We also carry antiques. We carry vintage pieces. Some pieces are actually brand new, so there might be showroom pieces that, a design showroom wants to sell. There's different ways to shop on our website. You can shop by new arrivals. You can shop by collection. And this literally right now, this room right there is something that we're selling. We're selling almost every piece in that room. And that room was professionally decorated by, a designer. We curate on our site. So we are really looking for things that people want to buy. Whether they're antique or brand new, they just need to be beautiful and luxurious. Our commission split is 60-40. The clients keep 60%, which is nice for them. The pieces remain with the seller until we've sold the piece. So they don't lose possession. We create an account for the seller so that they have their own dashboard. They can see the items that they're selling, what has sold, how much commission is owed. So at every point, they know what they have and what they've sold it for.
Jennifer Pittman of Rago Arts and Auction described one antique find.
This is the Poodleov pearl. It's the largest saltwater pearl that's known, and the story behind it is a dealer went to a very unassuming house in New Jersey and saw this brooch and thought, and the client needed to sell the brooch in order to fund, I think, the grandmother's health costs. And he thought, well, I could cut out all those diamonds and then make 16 engagement rings, but this pearl looks sort of interesting and important. I guess I should just double check. So he brought it into Rago, and Rago were like, whoa, what are you talking about? Do not cut that thing apart. This is really important. And they had the pearl tested, and they determined that it really was the largest natural saltwater pearl. There are many categories, but it's technically near round because there are other kinds of categories. But to make a long story short, it brought $813,000 at auction. And it's not just because of the pearl, but it's because of the story. The Poodleovs were a very wealthy family in Russia, and in fact, one of their factories was the site of the beginning of the Russian Revolution, and Lenin signed the decree confiscating all their real property and their businesses. They escaped to Paris, changed their name. In the 1950s, the grandson came to New Jersey. And sort of, all this time later, the story has sort of become all muddled, and, basically the history of this piece was lost.
After the presentations, Todd invited guests on a tour of the new mansion.
Gigantic, it's 23,000 square feet, so the more, if you don't put all this detail, it really looks flat and not. It's a smart shower, so it does 10 different tricks: heat, steam, massage, everything you could think of. She's got her beautiful, view of the river with her own, drink some coffee out on the balcony, and it's really a tasteful place. This is her closet. Our designers kind of look at her closet as like the woman cave, so it's a place that she could come to. It's got high ceilings, natural light, her own little makeup table. This is his closet that it's a little bit smaller than hers. Yeah. So we have a 2-story library here, just take in all the details of the library with the beams and just, wood. It's a full mahogany, so everything in the room is mahogany. Everything here is top of the line, Wolf and Sub-Zero. There's hidden, microwaves and drawers. By keeping the old tree, the old beautiful trees, and it doesn't feel like you're in even though this is a new community, nothing feels new about this. Everything feels like it's been here 100 years, and that's by design.